Ooh, what it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nixie coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. I wanted to speak about a really dope concept that can help you achieve those vocals that are really crispy but still have a little bit of body. So let's jump into it right now. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop more suggestions for videos y'all want to see down below. Here we go. Let's listen to the zone.
Tapping in Milan, come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to see better. Niggas held back, while they was years ahead of us. Now I'm gon' take that shit, no letter. Every chance I get, I'm gon' get with 'em. It took years to stitch this sweater. Gucci fabric, trim with leather. I'm so chic, they all just shut up. Won't ball like this, then get your brother. I've been shopping in Milan, grande.
Really dope song that we have here. So when I think about something like the Manley Master Passive, it's the legendary mastering EQ. All right, I think there's two versions. There's the regular version and there's also the mastering grade version. If you ever look at Sweetwater or any website where they show you like gear, specifically like kind of like those mastering EQs, I think the Chandler mastering EQ is another one like that too. Sometimes you see like the regular EQ, then you see another one which is the mastering grade EQ. So this is a very interesting concept that I started to run upon. It was called a mastering technique they called feathering, right? Where it's like you don't boost directly what you're trying to boost when it comes to mastering. For example, like if I put out, like let's say I wanted to boost something like 60 hertz, rather than to boost the actual 60 hertz, I would boost like above it. And it just so happens like Modern Warfare 3, 60 hertz will get caught up in the crossfire. You feel me? It'll get collateral. So that was a very interesting concept that I was kind of learning about. And I was like, that reminds me of what people be doing nowadays, in the mainstream, where it's like the vocals feel like they're really crispy on the low end, like there's a real high cut, but they still feel full at the same time. So this was kind of a concept I ran upon where I'm like, okay, on this mix, I'm gonna reshape the whole high end, because you'll see like it kind of felt like there was a little bit too much whistling type of sound. So what I did is I kind of shifted the energy down. So let me show you what it sounds like real quick. I used the Manley Massive Passive, and what I did is I did a cut at 27K hertz. So the human ear, it can't even go all the way up to all them frequencies. It can't even hear it. So it's kind of just taking up dead space type shit, right? So what I did is I cut off the top with the EQ, the mastering EQ, then I boosted it back with saturation. And I was like, damn, them boys in the mainstream, I feel like that's what they do with their vocals. I had one of my beat maker friends, he said, look, Nick, with this mix, what we want you to do is we want you to get that little baby effect, roll off the bottom and saturate it, the mid-range a little bit more. And I was like, what? When he said that, I was like, what? I was like, man, even a beat maker knows that shit. You feel me? So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Just using EQ and then using saturation to like shift down the energy.
Tapping in Milan, come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to see better. Niggas held back, while they was years ahead of us. Now I'm gon' take that shit, no letter. Every chance I get, I'm gon' get with 'em. It took years to stitch this sweater. Gucci fabric, shopping in Milan. Come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to see better.
So why did you do something like this, Nick? So it was a situation when I was mixing this song, right? You hear like there's like this delay that has a phaser, and there's like a little bit of whistling, because on my delay that I got right here is sweeping around and shit like that. I know you hear it. Like the delay is kind of like sweeping around. The reverb is like sweeping around and everything like that. It's good with her flow, but I kind of felt like it was overwhelming a little bit to my ear. So what I did is I'm trying to show you how to tonally shift something. You feel me? I cut the top, right, which is like 40K or 27K, like all the frequencies we can't hear, and then I boosted it back up using a saturator, which is a Spectre, and I did it over here on the top. So let's look at that real fast.
Tapping in Milan, come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to seek better. Niggas held back, while they was years ahead of us. Now I'm gon' take that shit, no letter. Every chance I get, I'm gon' get with 'em. It took years to stitch this sweater. Gucci fabric, true.
So kind of effectively making the song a little bit more warmer, you feel me? Also, it kind of added a little bit of clarity because all that stuff that's all the way up in the top end, we kind of can't even hear it. So it's just taking up space for my ears. So it was kind of like a concept where I was like, this is something really different. It's something really experimental I'm showing you right now, where it's like you cut the vocals or you cut whatever it is and you saturate it upwards. Let me show you another example of what I'm doing. I kind of did the same technique on my EQ, right? I do this a lot, where I'll do like a low pass, I'll do like a high pass filter, right? So I'll cut the lows, but then I'll boost it back up with a shelf. So it's kind of like I'm giving the vocal a surgery. I'm giving the vocal like a BBL or something like that. You feel me? I'm taking the fat and I'm shifting it somewhere else. You feel me? A situation like that. So let me just show you real quick.
Tapping in Milan, come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to seek better. Niggas held back, while they was years ahead of us. Now I'm gon' take that shit, no letter. Every chance I get, I'm gon' get with 'em. It took years to stitch this sweater. Gucci fabric, true with leather. I'm so chic, they out.
So going back and forth between those two shapes, right? So this is like the filter on the SSL. Then after that, I'm doing low shelf. You feel me? I'm doing let me get the right shade. I'm doing a low shelf at 90 hertz. So it's like some shit like this. You feel me? Where it's like you cutting and you boosting at the same time. Like you not losing the body of the vocal. You feel me? You're cutting the low end of the vocal to get it to be like really like, you feel me? Like I would say almost brittle, but not completely brittle. You feel me? It's like a cracker that's not dried up the whole way, like a Ritz cracker that's been sitting out in the sun. If you let it sit out in the sun for too long and you put it in your mouth, it's just gonna break completely. That would be like a really like skinny low end. You feel me? So I'm trying to get it to be brittle, but also still have a little bit of body. You feel me? Type of situation like that. And a plugin like that is really dope for that. It's something like Voice of God. You feel me? It's a situation where it is like a really steep resonant filter that is boosting the mid range a little bit. So you could try that out on vocals or Bark a Dog, which is free. And I just wanted to show one more concept, right? Of me kind of doing like the reverse thing, right? So I understand a pull tech has density. It has a tube density in the low mid range, right? So I kind of used the pull tag in the beginning of the vocal chain to make the chest come out a little bit, to make the the body of the vocal come out, and then I cut it right here with this EQ, and I did like a crazy cut at 6 dB. But between these two moves, it created like a nice like size to the vocal that still felt crispy and mainstream. So
Tapping in Milan, come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to seek better. Niggas held back, while they was years ahead of us. Now I'm gon' take that shit, no letter. Every chance I get, I'm gon' get with 'em. It took years to stitch this sweater. Tapping in Milan, come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money my free.
So the only thing that I could even think about to explain this concept, honestly, it's like a situation where you cook soup. You know how when you cooking like chicken soup or whatever, like people like to take the fat off of the chicken or the fat off of the meat, right? But they don't throw the meat away completely. They will take like the meat and maybe put it like in they'll take the chicken fat and put it in like a broth or something like that. So pretty much like it's very hard to explain this concept to do. Like, you know, you cutting, right? The vocal with EQ, but then you saturating it back upwards, you feel me? So it's a situation where like I'm still using the fat of the vocal. I'm not completely getting rid of it completely. I'm not getting rid of it completely, right? I'm just cutting up a little bit of it away, putting it in a different pot and using it in a different way where it's like the pull tech is pulling out the mid range, but then I'm dipping it back down. And now the mid range sounds a little bit smoother and a little bit like brighter in the tone. So just let's look at that one more time.
Dropping in Milan. Come fresh out the hood, by design look good. Nothing less than best dressed, just like I should. I remember days when I used to be modest. Now anything on me must be exotic. Snakeskin, alligator, cashmere. Yeah, they say Kate Williams shop here. Ridiculous price, spend a lot here. Money, my freedom, go where I go, and I don't need no. Came up out of pressure, so I had to seek better. Niggas held back, while they was years ahead of us. Now I'm gon' take that shit, no letter. Every chance I get, I'm gon' get with 'em. It took years to stitch this sweater. Gucci fabric, trim with leather. I'm so chic, they all just shut up. Won't ball like this, then get your brother. I've been shopping in Milan, grande, spinning big racks because I can. MX black card in my hand. They swipe, they run it, do ran it ran. I can't pronounce the shit.
So it's like the EQ move is making sure that the low end of her vocal is just not completely out of control. A very weird EQ shape that I did right here, like a bell, boom, and I just cut down to it, into it, and then I had the Pultec before it. So I just think that's really dope. It's not really necessarily easy to explain, but I noticed that a lot of the times these mainstream people are trying to get it to sound like their favorite artists, right? They're trying to get it to sound like Roddy Ricch. They're trying to get it to sound like Jack Harlow. And those rappers are using like analog hardware. And I think what people forget about is the harmonic density. You feel me? It's not also about the sound, but the fact that it gives it a little bit more density. You feel me? It just makes things a little bit more weighty at a certain part of the vocals. You feel me? So it's like people try to do like the same EQ moves that they see like these other mixers do, like the pro mixers do, and it's like they're not working with the same signal because y'all signal, if you record into a regular interface, it might not be as dense, it might not be as skimpy as it when it ran it through a transformer or it ran through a tube microphone. You feel me? It gives it that size. So it's a very different concept. You feel me? It's a very different concept that I'm trying to talk about. Cutting the lows with EQ, but then boosting it back with saturation. You feel me? To give it more size, but still a cleanness. So this is the end of the video here today. I just wanted to say thank you very much for being a great part of my YouTube family. What do you guys think of this kind of like this different type of like technique to mixing vocals? You feel me? I got it from like the mastering, you know, how it be boosting and mastering. So let me know down below how you feel about this kind of like exotic, kind of different technique, you know? So I just want to say thanks a lot. Appreciate y'all now. Peace.